Okay, now we're going to try this with this sock and thing. So what I like to do is I like to use the plain one for the body, or the plain one for the hat, and this for the body. So what we're going to do, because this kind of looks like a dress type deal, so just like with the white sock, right, we are going to cut this right above the heel right here. We're going to cut this because both sides of these are going to be part of the doll's clothes. And these fray really bad. I mean, once you cut them, the fuzz gets everywhere. So be careful. Just be careful. Yeah, the fuzz is going to get everywhere. Okay, the top of the sock, the original top, not the part we cut, right, is going to go around the doll's neck. See here? Around the doll's neck. And we are going to sew this right here. And you can cut this if you don't like how long it is, right? You can cut it. Now this is where I told you that you don't have to do the body in the white, just the head in the white. Because if I would have cut this sock here on the bottom of the heel, right? This is the heel, right? I could have made the legs out of this, right? Cut it there, folded it in half, cut the legs, rounded this off, and done exactly like I did this, right? This would have been your body, and then you would have made a round head, right? I don't like that. I just didn't. It didn't feel right. This feels right. So I just didn't. So, and I like to make mine just a tad bit shorter. Oh, my scissors might need to be right. And then that way when I stick this on up around the neck, because that's what fits tightly, my legs stick out. And then I sew this right shut, and her legs stick out. If you did it this way, right, it would look like she was wearing footy pajamas, right? Or he, whichever one you want to do it on. It would look like they were wearing footy pajamas, which is perfectly fine. Do it whichever way you would like. You can either do it this way. This way's cheaper. You figure this is $1 per sock, right? And if you're only using the white socks for this, you can get 2 out of this, right? One at the top and one at the bottom. So, but you could do this and then use the other one like this for the hat. So it would cost you maybe $1.50, $2 if you count some of the polyfill. So this could be a $2 doll. Me, I just don't like to do it that way, even though you can. So this we're going to stitch right here, right? And then we will either use this as a hat, right? Or we will use this as a hat. So we will see. I'm guessing, or I'm giving granted that you guys know what a running stitch is for stitching this up around here and then cinching it closed. I'm sorry if I'm thinking that you already know what that is. But if you don't know what that is, please Google it. running stitch or the basic, just a regular basic stitch, just in and out, just keep going. Don't backtrack or anything like that. With the legs, when I sew those together, I do use a back stitch, right? And I'm having a problem. Oh, there we go. Anyway, I do a back stitch, but, right, that is only to make sure that there's no no spots left open, right? Because the polyfill will come out, and you do not want to get past that stage and find out that it didn't hold. So I use a back stitch, and that's, you go in and out, and then you go back halfway between that stitch and go there, and then go forward, and then go back and then go forward. So it's a little backtracking, but it's a better stitch. And if you want something to stay like this here, then you want to make sure that you do that, right? So this right here is hard to get your things to stand. So I know it's like TMI. I put my needle in here, so well, I guess I need to make sure that the knot is big enough. After this stuff stretches, the material is more porous. So I put my knot in here, and then I catch both this side, and then I come right over and catch this side. And I just keep doing this until I feel that it's sturdy enough to warrant, and it makes it what we call it in my Sunday school class with me and my niece, we called it built-in modesty. But this is like her pajamas, her little pajamas, her short pajamas, or because these are her shorts. But that's why we don't put little shoes on them and stuff like that. This is just something that we give to our young ones so that they can take care of this and not worry about where mom and dad is. I started making them for friends that ask for them, and I embellish them more than I do like the ones that were on the internet. I made one for Sherry from Keto Twisted Gypsy. I made one for her daughter and her older daughter. No, her granddaughter and her daughter. I made one for Beth over at Chi-Town Girl. And then I've made one for Rosemary over at Rosemary You Rock Art, which, if you are not subscribed to their channels, go ahead and subscribe to their channels. They are awesome people. But I embellished them more than I would embellish, say, normal for my class. The whole point of this was so that they couldn't take anything off. That's why I sew the clothes on, I sew the hat on, and the only gem I actually put on is a heart right here on the shirt. But all this was made so that they could not take it off. Okay, now, even though I don't normally do this at this time, I'm going to show you really quick. We are going to make where the arms go. And the arms are supposed to look like they're in the pocket of their pajamas. Right? So we start up here. See here? They look like they're in the pocket of their pajamas. In the pocket of their pajamas. These are their arms. Right? So this is what we're going to do, is we're going to make these two creases right here so that their hands look like they're in their pockets. So, and I go from the back. And I have been just eyeing these. There's no right or wrong method. If it's wrong, I take it out. I don't know any other way of doing it. But you stick this, I basted it back here, stick it all the way through, right? And then I just bring it down to where I pinch it to see if there's enough, like, arm here. See if there's enough arm between my thumb and the edge of the doll. If there's enough room right here for an arm, then I say, okay, let's just take it right there, go up through the back, and then, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but if you'll watch, and then it just kind of sinks in. See? Now watch. All right, ready? See it sink in? And then if it looks like an arm, I'll keep it, right? If it don't, I will cut it out and try again, because, you know, it's got to look like an arm. It's got to look like the baby's got its arm in its pocket. So, and you're done. And there's her little arm. See her little arm? And now we'll do another one on this side, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, everybody, she's got arms right there. Right there's her arms. And I think I have decided that I'm going to go ahead and use this hat. Right? It goes all the way down. And I kind of just turned it under. Right? Turned it under so it makes this look really fat right here. Right? And then pulled it down. And I think I'm going to take this part that's all stuck out here and just crunch it up. Just let it do whatever it needs to, and just hold it there like that, and just let it go. Let it do its thing. But like I do all of them, I'm going to sew this hat on, right? And crunch this down. And then we'll come back and either on this one, or we'll finish the ones on this doll or this one, and I'll show you what I do for the eyes. And then we'll embellish something. I'll show you some of the embellishments that I use. Okay, be back in a minute. For the face is I start off, and I am using this puffy 3D paint. Okay, I don't know, I guess because it already has a tip on it, and I'm real careful with this because, you know, it is one of those things where you only get one chance at this. So I normally make sure it's all the way down at the end, try it on a piece of paper, this way it's a fabric. And I don't know if I can do this with you guys watch, or for you guys to see, but I make eyes that I think are proportionate for this baby. Yeah. Do you see? Okay. This is all I know, or how I know to do this is just, it's just a trial and error. And now this baby will go over here so it can dry. And when it dries, because it looks, you know, puffy right now, but when it dries flat. There is no puffiness to this whatsoever, because I don't do anything to it. It doesn't go in the thing. So after this, I take this is the apple barrel, just the white, just to give it some, you know, attributes, and I guess I need to shake this up. That's one thing I didn't do, is shake this up. But we're gonna give it some character here, just a little character. You can decide how much character to give yours, but I normally just take, don't want to do too much. I don't want to, you can only get one shot at this too. And I just make a straight line and then put a little dot right under the end of it. Almost like a little curved explanation point right underneath, just to give it some. Now, if you look at the difference, just giving it a little bit of character. Now, when this dries, of course, we'll come in with some blusher, and we'll give it some cheeks and that kind of thing. But for now, the only thing this baby needs, and besides time to dry, of course, would be a mouth. Well, I can do a mouth black, or I can do one that gives it a little bit more color, gives it some, and I can do it in red. And this, you kind of just gotta go with. You can write it out with a pencil, but you can still see it if you do. So this you're just going to have to go with. And since I don't think there's any wrong, or bad art, however their mouths come out is how they come out, because can't go redoing them. That would include taking off the head and redoing all of it, and I'm just not. So I've done some different little faces, and looky there. Okay, so when she gets all dry, we'll come in and give her some rosy cheeks and stuff like that. But basically, yeah, she's done. And if you wanted, you could come in and give this one. We could do this one. And yes, I try and give all my babies a smile of some sort. Now, not all of them come out great or even, but I think that's some of the character of doing it all by hand is, I don't think it has to. There we go. Now all this baby needs is some pupils and to dry, of course. So but there's other things we can do to give these guys some character. Now, depending on who you're doing it with or for, or you don't have to have anybody in mind. See? Okay. I just wanted to finish that up since I already had the red out and everything. And that way I can put this up. Oh, and yeah, this is just the red apple. It's just the bigger one. The apple barrel. Bright red. That's what I use for their lips. I'll wash this in a minute. I hope that this has helped somebody, right? I hope that you make them, or you at least like the tutorial that, And please, if you haven't already, consider hitting the subscribe button, which should be somewhere around maybe here, I think. And if you liked this video, this tutorial about these little babies, please give them a big thumbs up. Okay? And girls, ladies, gentlemen, everybody, take care. Be safe. And have a blessed night. And I'll see you in my next video. Have a good night. Bye.